And amazing grace, sweet the sound. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about dominant chords, and I'm going to be talking about how to form dominant chords, when to use dominant chords, and what scales and runs you can use over dominant chords. So let's go into how do you form dominant chords. So dominant chords is the same thing as a major chord, like a major 13 but with a flat 7. So let's say major 13, that's still like a C sharp major 13. It's the same thing with major 13 but with a flat 7. So a flat 7, so that's the dominant chord. So let's take C major chord. Let's take a C major 13. To form a dominant chord, you just take the 7 and then you flat it. So now that is a dominant chord. So let's take an F dominant chord. F dominant chord, first of all you play the major chord, and then instead of you playing a major 7, you take it and then you flat it down, say flat 7. So that's how to form a dominant chord. So now let's talk about when a dominant chord is used. A dominant chord is usually used to take you to, it's usually used as a passing chord to take you to a major chord or a minor chord. So let's say, for example, in the key of C, let's say you're going to the 4 chord. Let's take a song, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. So there's a 4 chord. So the dominant chord is usually used as a passing chord, but from a 5th below. So let's say you're trying to go to the F. So I'll probably go to the 5th in the key of F, and then I will form a dominant chord. Remember, a dominant chord is the same thing as a major chord, but with a flat 7. So how do you form a flat 7? You just go to the major chord. So let's say C major chord, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, flat 7, and then you play the major chord, C major chord with the flat 7, and then the 9 and the 13. So that is how you so yeah, we can use this to take us to the 4 chord. Let's say Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. So that's how you can form a major chord. That's how you can use a dominant chord as a passing chord to take it to the major chord. So let's say you're trying to go to a minor chord. So let's say to the 6. You are God alone. From the first time began, you are God alone. So let's say you're trying to go to the 6th chord. The same thing, you're going to go to the 5th, so, and then you play a dominant chord on the 5th. So on the 5th, so you're going to do a major chord first, and then major 7, and then flat 7. So and then flat 7. So that is how you can form a dominant chord, and then you can use this to take it to your 6th chord. Okay, so let's say you are God from the first time began, you are God alone. So you are God alone. So what I'm gonna do, so I can use this passing chord, take me to this. So yeah, so you have talked about how to use dominant chords and how to form them. So the last step I want to show you guys is what scales you can use. So a scale you can use on the dominant chord is a whole tone scale. So a whole tone scale is basically a scale made up of tones. So a tone means 2 steps. So 2 steps, 2 steps, 2 steps. That's a C. So that's a whole tone scale. That's a C whole tone scale. So let's take that first dominant chord that we made. So the first dominant chord was a Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. So the whole tone scale we can play when we when we do this. So let's try it again. Amazing Grace, sweet the sound. So what did I do? I just ran the scale. And then something you can do is to play them in group of thirds. So instead of you just running them in the single notes, you can play them in group of thirds, or you can play them in 6. So oh wait, so let's try that again. Amazing Grace, sweet the sound. So what did I do? I did so that is a whole tone scale. So let's try that whole tone scale on the 3 to take us to the 6. So again, the whole tone scale is still the same. Yes, it's gonna be the same. Yeah, so it's gonna be the same thing. So the same scale. So let's try that again. You are God alone, from the first time began. I went to the 4. You are God alone. So I'll try that again, going to the 6. So you are God alone, from the first time began. So that is one scale you can use over the dominant chords. By the way, I just released an intermediate piano course whereby I break down dominant chords just like this, but in more details. I still have like one more scale that I usually use on dominant chords. If you want to learn more about passing chords and scales and runs, it's gonna be the top link in the description.